All right. What's going on, y'all? We are back in the house. Make sure you guys give me that one to let me know that you can see and you can hear me. Before we get started and I get to talking about the foolishness that we watched tonight. Oh, guys, oh guys, oh guys. Oh man, let's get this. Let's get this. I see some ones populating. Awesome. Um, guys, I don't know this episode tonight. How many people, I might have to start this with a poll because I'm a little curious. Uh, I'm a little curious as to if you were thinking what I was thinking. I'm a little curious for how many people who are watching tonight's episode had what we're referred to as the chronic eye roll syndrome. Okay, like as I'm watching Cody and Robin talking, I'm like, oh God, oh. I will say that in the spirit of somebody called in last week and had a great point about Robin being there um for McKelty off the rip. And I didn't start my thing. McKelty being there off the rip. And I thought that we were kind of turning a corner because a lot of people in the chat, include myself, I'm gonna include myself in this group. Hey, what's going on, Lizzie B? I see you in the house. A lot of people were trying to give Robin some credit for her participation with McKelty and making sure she was okay, especially when she was little and that kind of thing. So we're trying to give her credit. It felt like tonight's episode, and I'm going to be honest. Well, before I do that, we're going to just drop a quick poll because I'm kind of curious. I'm curious. How many people? I'll just say, did you? Because it'll be bilateral, so it'll be yes or no. Did you find yourself rolling your eyes listening to Robin and Cody talk? I'm kind of curious what I want to take the temperature. So, oops. We'll put that in a quick poll because I'm a little curious. So we're going to start that poll now. And I'll run it for about 5 minutes. Some people are like, yeah. Some people are like, hey, wait for the poll, damn it. Yeah, yes, absolutely. Positive 100%. I have a headache now. Thank you, Robin. I got a headache from rolling my eyes so hard on that thing. I got to tell you, like my first initial thing is when I was watching this episode, I can't help but think this was the Robin Cody episode. Like this is really the Robin redemption episode. Why do I say that? They open up the scene. They're at McKelty's house talking about McKelty and her having the kids. And of course, from last week, we know that Robin stayed over to the house. She was helping McKelty with the babies. McKelty had the C-section, the cesarean. So she was kind of knocked off her feet. Robin is, in there filling the spots, filling the roles. And it just struck me that as everybody was talking, Christine is there, everybody's talking. Everybody had a hero story about how much Robin was doing and how she had sacrificed and all the things she had did for McKelty while she was there. And Robin is so amazing. And Robin is such a wonderful person. And we were running the whole line. And for me, it kind of backfires a little bit because I know they want to tell the story about how much Robin was doing for the family and how much and how much she was sacrificing and how much she had put into it. But it just came off to me like that thing that had kind of been kicked around before. That McKelty and Tony, when they said that they had a relationship with Robin and Cody, that they had to make them feel comfortable. McKelty and Tony had to make Robin and Cody feel comfortable. So they spent a lot of time chasing after them, singing their praises, talking about them. And of course, like some people will say, well, James, that's because they're narcissists. And that's how you have to maintain relationships with narcissists. I don't disagree, but it's just a weird place to be in where you can't have a regular conversation with somebody without, you know, every third sentence talking about how awesome they are. You know what I mean? Like if you're talking about your car, like something happened to your car. Oh, my car had a flat tire and I was driving down the road, the tire went flat. All I heard was clunk, clunk, clunk. That never happened to your car because your car is awesome and you're such an awesome driver. You probably just go right around potholes. Like, or you never ride on tacks or any kind of shrapnel in the street because you're just an awesome driver and you're so lucky and plus you're smart. And did I mention how beautiful you are? Like I couldn't be in a relationship like that because it would drive me nuts, but I kind of felt like that's where I was listening to them talk. Then they get to the point where Cody and Robin are out there and they're having a conversation. For those who don't know, I kind of pop in on the while the show is playing. I pop in. Chat box is open, so you can always come into the chat room early, uh, and we kind of just kick around about stuff we're seeing early on. And like I hate mornings. I think and there was a couple other people. Kathy Ferran was there. Lizzie B was there, and some other folks, and they made it a point to say there is a lot that Robin was saying out on the in front of the house that made sense. And I agree. Like I think that she was making some very strong salient points about kids needing a parents, about Cody not being afraid to try, Cody putting himself out there to try. I think on the contrary aspect of it, I think that on the surface, Cody's points could be there if he didn't have the problems that he had in the relationships. The relationships didn't break down because you didn't love their mothers. That's not the whole reason. That's not the sum total of it. He's trying to simplify it because he doesn't want to take responsibility for the relationships falling apart. And more importantly, because you didn't have a relationship with the kids or talk to the kids or deal with the kids in any substantive manner, therefore, when your relationship with your wives broke down, you lost that bridge to the children because the children saw how you treated their mothers. It wasn't the fact that you didn't love them, it's the fact that you treated the wives like hell once you got the woman you wanted. It's the fact that you treated your kids like hell because they weren't of the loins of the woman that you wanted. And there is a problem when you are a person dating somebody with kids. That's one of the key things you should always look for is how they treat their kids, that especially if they're not with the partner anymore. Like Robin's situation is a little different, a little more complicated because technically Cody was still with the baby's moms. But in any other situation, if somebody has kids and they're not with the mom or they're not with the dad or whatever, you see how they do their kids, how much care and effort they put in their kids. And that goes beyond just the lip service of, oh man, I don't see my kids at all. Oh, I miss my kids so much. I wish my kids so much. I wish I had my kids. Did you call them? No. Did you try to go to court? The mom ain't picking up the phone. Did you take them to court so you can see your kids? No. I don't want to do that. I just miss them so much. You don't miss them enough to call out and check on them and try to, pursue those relationships. So there's always that question. If you see that they don't care about the kids that they already have, don't make more kids with them. Just, pro tip. But even when Robin said that, and we can kind of get into it a little bit, I guess. When Robin said that first part about like, who was I talking about? Just lost my train of thought. Oh, like she goes out, and of course, Robin in this situation, Cody, right off the rip, they supposedly had this argument early on. Oh, they had an argument before the camera crew got there. Cody got pissed off. because Robin was asking him questions. He decided to leave. What happened to the I don't let him go anywhere because we're going to talk it out? Whatever happened to that Robin? When she was telling the wives how to do their relationships. It changes apparently when she's actually in the churches trying to deal with her relationship. But Cody gets mad. He gets in his car and he drives off. And he's been gone for a little while. It gets cooling off because things was getting heated. And when he gets back, I guess it's a way for them not to film in the house. Robin comes out and meets him at the in the driveway. My observation on that, just my first thought when I saw that shit, I said to myself, I say itself, pardon my French, I say itself, if you get in an argument with your lady and you pull up to the house and she's standing outside and talk to you outside in the snow, oh, she done changed the locks to the house. Like your key don't work. Like that's why she meet you on the porch. Your key don't work. Okay. That's what that means. People don't do that. Nobody does that. If it's cool for you to come in the house, especially the kids ain't home, it's not like you having a conversation outside because the kids ain't there. You having a conversation outside because dude don't live there no more. You just letting them know. She pulled a Christine. Your stuff is in the garage, hustler. You can go out there and get it anytime you want. You got that big old truck. You can load your shit up into that truck and beat feet. Beat feet like a bicycle clown. You know what I mean? That's what you are, Playboy. Like that's how that works. First of all. Second of all, if normally what would happen in a situation like this, you would make her angry. You would get in your car. I'm out of here, woman. You get in your car, you drive off, angry driving like 50 miles an hour to the stop sign, and you take off, right? Hey, because you mad, you upset. And then when you get home, she'll be in the same spot when you left. That's how you know you're in trouble. When she ain't moved. You get an argument in the kitchen and she's still in the kitchen. Just still standing at the sink washing dishes. Yeah, you in trouble, Jack. So that's what I would have expected from this conversation. Something more similar to that. But apparently he come home and they had the stage, I think it's staged, the stage conversation outside in front of the house. And like I said, it was a good attempt to try to make Robin look better, to make us feel more sympathy towards her. Okay, right on. You said a lot of good stuff. The kids, it's important that you reach out to kids, etc., etc., etc. But the whole thing is, at some point, if you're going to get real with them and you really trying to solve the problem, you have to tell them what the damn problem is. Oh, they're just mad because I don't love their mothers. How many times did he say that? You don't love their moms. You don't love their moms. Oh, it is not the fact that I don't have a problem with my kids because I have a problem with my kids. I have a problem with my kids because I don't love their mothers. And I have a problem with my kids because they don't like you. And so because they're bad talking you, I'm supposed to let them bad talk you. Everything is about somebody else with him. Nobody, apparently, Cody doesn't have a problem with anybody on anything that he does or by the fact that he's him. He have a problem with other people because of other people. That's what he wants you to believe. He don't have a problem with his kids because him and his kids having difficulty in getting along. He's having a problem with his kids because he's having a difficulty getting along with Christine, Mary, or Janelle. He's not having a problem with his kids because he didn't talk to his kids or deal with his kids. He's having a problem with his kids because they keep talking about Robin, and Robin is the woman he loves, and he's trying to show Robin that she, I love you so much. Bump them kids. And that's where he's at. And that's where I think that a lot of this doesn't, like, it just makes him look horrible. I understand he wants to give Robin a little shine, make her feel better about herself because she take a lot of heat and she gets she have a hard way to go on the show. Nobody really like her. So they try to give her something that people can say she did a good job. Good job, Robin. You did a good job. But at the same time, Cody, you taking an L, bro. You took an L on this one. Let me see what some of these folks are saying. I'm out of my mind. Yeah, right. Oh yeah, he was betrayed. I've been betrayed. They betrayed me, and I'm tired of listening to them talk about how the wives left them. Tired of hearing them talk about COVID. I'm tired of hearing them talk about how they betrayed them because they took the wives' sides. I'm tired of him pretending like everything happened in isolation. Oh, I didn't get along with my wives, so therefore these people got mad at me because I wasn't getting along with my wives at the time. Okay, why are they mad about your relationship with your wife? Because maybe you were treating their moms. Who were your wives? Like when you talk about your ex-wives and divorces, that's their mothers. So yeah, these kids might be upset at the way you treating their mom, you know. And in a way, this all reminds me in a real twisted way. I guess everybody kind of does this, but I'm just making a connection that, Robin is the other woman. And this is what I hear a lot of what they're saying, or at least from Robin and Cody's perspective of what the breakdown is. It sounds like dad is arguing with his kids because they don't get along with his girlfriend. Like he's cheating on his wife. He got caught cheating. The kids take that a certain way, and they feel like he betrayed the family and abandoned the family. And he doesn't understand why the kids don't accept his new wife into the fold, as opposed to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why you guys are so mad. Susie do a lot of stuff for me that your mama didn't. you know, and that's what every kid wants to hear. That their mama ain't nothing. So it's just crazy. But I don't know. I think they took a little bit of an L. Let's go back to the poll. Let's see what the poll had to say. Okay, on the question of did you find yourself rolling your eyes listening to Robin and Cody talk? 4% of you said no, whereas 96% of you said yes. I felt myself rolling my eyes. And this is out of 390 votes. So I'm going to go ahead and close that poll out because I think it's pretty definitive. There's more people who are rolling their eyes, according to this poll, than believe in climate change and the fact that the Earth is not flat. So, more people believe the Earth is flat than believe that Cody and them were genuine. So I don't know. That's kind of where we are. So I'm gonna go ahead and close the poll out. Oh wow! Somebody, let me. I gotta get my thing up. This is Felicia Plummer. He said, "I never said I didn't love them. Then I said I didn't love them. Then he said, what do I do? Then he said, then they inserted the clip of him saying, kick the boys out. And I didn't go to Isabel surgery. I know what you did. Or at least the sad part is, I don't think he takes responsibility or blame for any of that. Like, that's the crazy part about it. Like, I don't think it's his fault. Like, oh, I didn't go to Isabel's surgery, but everybody knows why, because I couldn't be away from my kids. Even though Robin was away from the kids when she went to see Isabel. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that works. Cody can't be away from the kids, but apparently Robin can. Not quite sure how we doing that. Oops. There we go. Got like a little green screen shadow. There we go. That's better. That's better. Yeah, but that's kind of where we are. Every week is Cody and Robin's show. Getting tired of it. Yeah. But it's just like I said, it's just a lousy way to go about it, I think. Yeah, what do you guys think about James? You had a green Yoda glow. I know. But I'm too tired to fix it. I have to go out and come back in. He really thinks he only made two mistakes. The Lulu. Oh, let's see. Big Red. You could tell Robin was too scared to tell Cody what what he actually did wrong when he said he didn't do anything. Yeah, she knows what he did wrong. But here's the weird part. And this is the part that I struggle with. And maybe you guys can help me with this aspect of it. It's hard for me to just outright agree with the things that Robin said because I do agree with the premise of a lot of things that she put down. I'm not saying that she was wrong by any regard, but it's hard for me to get around the notion that you participated in it. Like it's easy to sit there and say, "Oh, Cody, you didn't blah blah blah. You didn't spend enough time with the kids," and "Oh, Cody, I don't know why the kids are mad, and you need to try. You need to do better." But you were consistently taking Cody away from the kids. Like he was at your house, and you guys are pretending like you don't understand it. He was at your house, but he was at your house. So you were, whether you like it or not, you are a part of the problem. I'm not saying, and I've been saying this. Like, I don't think that we can look at Robin and say that she is the sole reason why the family fell apart. Because Robin, and I stand on this, like Robin can't do anything that Cody doesn't let her do. Full stop. There's nothing Robin could do that Cody has to sign off on everything that she does. Everything that's damaging. He decides where he's going to spend time at. He decides if he's going to go over to her house. He decides if he's going to prioritize Ari and Solomon over all his other kids. He made those decisions. And with that in mind, even though he made those decisions, Robin, you were a part of it or a party to it because he was making those decisions for you and they benefited you. So it's a little weird that now you're going to sit there and pretend like you don't understand why people are looking at you like you're culpable for this or you have at least some participation in this because you benefited from it. He was sitting in your house. You have a calendar in your house. And if you don't have a calendar, maybe you don't know what actual day it is. You could look outside and say, okay, well, it's daytime. The night was there. The moon was up in the sky. Then all of a sudden it's daytime again and the moon's up in the sky. And I look over and Cody was here for both of those cycles. So that means he was at your house 2 days in a row. Or he leaves your house, he comes over, stays the day, leaves your house at night, then comes back and spends the next day with you, leaves the house, then at nighttime comes back the next morning, spends the day with you, then he spends the night with you. Then it's back on the same cycle where he leaves for the night, comes back during the day, leaves during the night, come back during the day. Then he's at your house all day, then at all night, and repeat the cycle. He's at your house. She admits that in the cul-de-sac, he was at her house. I made a special place in my house for him. So the kids knew this is what was going on. You guys lived in a cul-de-sac. They could see his car pulling in and out of the thing. The problem is that they could be standing in the room and you don't see him in the window. But you think because you don't see him in the window and because they don't come right out and be like, aha, you think that they don't recognize that's what you're doing. And that's why you thought you got away with it. And therefore, when they approach you with this is what you were doing, you can't believe that they would have the audacity to call you on this and say that this is what was happening. Let me get to Brittany, not Brittany in the house. What's up? What's up? 499 super chat. In my mind, okay, I see what you did there. Cody could fix things with at least his boys if he just let them cuss him all the way out one good time. That's probably true. And to be honest with you, they probably deserve it. Or at least I believe in an open door. If you think I did something, and it's just me as a parent, as a person, if you think I did something, you can come to me and talk about something that you think I did, and we can have that conversation. Just understand that when we have that conversation, You're going to bring your side, and I'm going to bring my side. And we're going to have a full, open discussion about it. I'm going to listen to what you have to say. I'm going to listen to what you have to say. And if I have any disagreements, I'm going to pull my disagreements out and we can air it all the way out. I'm not going to sit there and try to shut you down and shut you up and shut you off. But at the same time, if I feel like you're being dishonest, I'm going to call you on it. If you feel like I'm being dishonest, obviously call me on it. Let me know. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of like how they're doing it. I'm not a fan at all. But good point. Good point. I mean, he the only way I agree with what Brittany's saying, because the only way it really works is if they have an opportunity to be able to voice their objection, get it all out, and then you guys move forward from there. But it's funny that they say it like that, because wasn't there a time when Cody was sitting there saying to Janelle, when he had all the power and he was ready to kick people out and he didn't give a damn about people being around and so on and so forth, because he felt like he had all the power. Now you feel like you don't have any power. Now all of a sudden you want to start talking about it. See, that's where it gets a little weird too. It's because one minute when you think you got you holding all the cards, then you don't give a shit about talking about nothing. I don't care. If you don't want to be in, be out. Be out then, son. I don't care. But the second they leave and you realize you don't have any control over them anymore, then all of a sudden, I don't know what I did. I feel so sorry for myself. I can't believe this has happened. I don't know what the problem is. So, I mean, that's what, to me, I think that's what it is. But if they want to have a conversation, they're going to fix it. They can't sweep it under the rug like Cody and Robin was saying before. Y'all gonna have, like Brittany said, you're gonna have let them boys come out, beat them, come out, flags flying. You fly your flag. If Cody, if the best thing you got going for you is I feel betrayed, I went through a divorce, you got to feel sorry for me. You don't know how bad I had it during COVID. I feel like you disrespected me during COVID because you wouldn't isolate. And if we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it. He brought up the 1-9 rules. I don't want to say the actual name too much because the video get flagged and they might put me on suspension or something with YouTube. You can't post no more, and I won't be able to do the sister lives with Sarah tomorrow. But during the 1-9, you had the rules. C-19, you had rules, and what were the rules? The rules were essentially you can't get together and meet with each other because I am the only one who's going to be able to go from house to house, family to family. I'm going to be the only one who can be in touch with anybody. Everybody else has to be completely isolated. So I'm going to have my needs met as far as affection, time, and attention, whereas you guys will just have to wait every 3 or 4 days to get your fill of attention from anybody outside your household. That didn't make any sense. They didn't want to go along with it, so it didn't work. And because it didn't work, now all of a sudden it was a problem, and you find yourself in that spot. See, Melissa, the moms didn't have to say a word against Cody. The kids can see how Cody treated them and their mothers with their own eyes. I agree with that. I mean, if you have a relationship with your kids, like I would be hard pressed to imagine that somebody could come in, including their mom, my wife. It's hard pressed for me to think that somebody could come into my kids and tell my kids about me and turn my kids against me based on a conversation. Based on a conversation. There was I remember, because I'm an old man, I'm an old guy, one of the old guys. I remember when there was a time when they were talking about rap or violence in music and movies and entertainment. And there was a guy named Chuck D from Public Enemy. It was on what they used to call a talk show for you young folks. It was on a talk show. And guy Chuck D said something I thought was very salient. He said that, look, if I can sing a song, a 5-minute song, and change your child's entire mindset on life and how to treat people, then you failed as a parent. And I think that speaks volumes. Like if Cody was involved with his kids from like everybody tried to say he was, it would be difficult for me to imagine the mom just going right back and saying, you know, your daddy ain't shit. And then all of a sudden the kids, you right. Pardon my French. Okay. This is gonna be a French one. I apologize. But you know, you right, daddy ain't nothing. He didn't ever take care of us. He ain't never there for us. Like if he's there all the time and he's doing all the time and he's present all the time and he's doing everything he does and he makes them feel like he's present, then they're going to feel like he's present. And that's something that you can't erase. You can't erase how people feel. The problem is you can't erase how people feel. So if you make them feel neglected, invisible, hidden, like they don't matter, you know what I mean? Like it's more important that you're over with Robin and her kids than over there with them. When you talk about them having something going on in their lives, you have to be present and you always have to be there for, you know, the parent in the front row of the school recital with the camera cheering little Solomon and Ari on. But at the same time, when Gwendolyn gets a honor roll or Gabe gets honor roll in school, that you can't make time to go over there and even talk to them about it. They remember that, especially when you have a situation like Isabel. Oh, well, Isabel's probably just mad because I didn't go to her surgery. Yeah, she's probably mad that you didn't go to her surgery. She was heartbroken about it, but she was trying to understand that you have a lot of kids and a lot of responsibility. She was down in the dumps about it. She was upset about it. But you know what killed her? When she found out that you went to your friend's wedding and you could be away for that, but you couldn't be away for something that was so important to her. That's actually what did it. That's what did it. In my mind, that's what did it. It wasn't like they say, when the straw that broke the camel's back, it's not the one straw that broke the camel's back. It's the million other straws underneath it that breaks the camel's back. What broke your relationship was not the COVID rules, was not the I say it the the panorama. I was talking about the panorama again. But it wasn't the rules that broke your family. It wasn't the fact that you just missed Isabel's surgery. That was just the final straw. That was the last straw when those things started happening. It was the fact you weren't going over to her house, over to Christine's house. And it's not just you being at Christine's house, it's you participating. Because how many times a day we heard him say that he would come over and he would, you know, jump on the phone or sit there, be on his phone or text messaging, probably talking to Robin about his other kids and what's going on and how much he loved her when he's sitting in somebody else's house. You're talking about what's going on with her kids when you sitting in the house with Christine, Mary, or Janelle's kids. Yeah. So when you do that next thing, that's the thing that causes them to walk out the door because it's that last straw. But it's the other times that they felt neglected. That's why they left. That's why they're upset. That's why they want to cuss you out. Madison isn't just mad at you because you're not dealing with her mom. She might be mad at you because you're not dealing with her mom, but it's why you're not dealing with her mom because you had a disagreement about her brothers. Like you can't separate these things. And that's one of the weird things. Like that's a weird place. Maybe I'm just the only one, but that's a weird place because of the way they frame a lot of it. That it's easy to forget that when you're talking about Madison, you're also talking about Gabe and Garrison. That's her little brothers. So when you're talking about kicking her little brothers out and putting them in the street during the panorama, yeah, she might be a little pissed. She might be a little pissed. And Madison has always kind of struck me as one of them young ladies that was very straightforward. Like you didn't really have to guess what Madison was thinking. You know, to her credit, like it was a few times I'm sure. Like I can see if I was like a parent to a child like Madison, there's a few times, especially on TV, and they throwing cameras and microphones in her face. I'd be a little nervous. What's she gonna say? Like, oh, Madison might get up there and say something too real. Madison get too real for TV. She might let the cat out the bag. So yeah. So I mean, there's that. Oh, let me see. I have another one. Let me just see. Oh, okay. Deborah Fisher, 299 super sticker. Thank you, Deborah. Appreciate you. Oh, you know what? Dang on. This is for Brittany, not Brittany, and Deborah Fisher. I'm sorry, I'm dropping the ball, y'all. I'm dropping the dang on ball. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm tripping tonight. Yeah, it's like I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch this episode again. In fairness, I'm gonna have to watch this episode again tonight. Thank you so much, Deborah, and thank you to Brittany, not Brittany. Um, yeah, because like I want to pull some. I'm gonna try to pull something positive from this episode, but because they talk so much about just the dumb shit. Like they just like I respect the fact that if it was a genuine conversation or genuine disagreement about Robin wanting Cody to spend time with his kids and be there for his kids, I respect that. I do respect that. But I'm gonna have to do it, y'all. I'm gonna have to come up with like, you know what? I want to do that. Sugar shit. I want to have to do that. It's time for dog chair. I'm gonna have to put my clip in there so that way it'll be in there. That going in. Uh I'm gonna say something that might be a little jacked up, and I recognize. Like I'm very aware of myself. Be honest with yourself. That's the first rule, James. James' first rule: be honest with yourself. You know, brutally honest with yourself. And sometimes I have jacked up dark thoughts. And here's a jacked up dark thought. Um, when it comes to Robin, especially her being so concerned about Cody's relationship with his kids, it did occur to me that she might be upset about Cody's relationship with his kids because she does miss the big family gathering. Um, I don't know if you guys saw my last video where I was talking about Logan's wedding. That's one of the points I made about Cody's feeling of like, don't put Cody in the corner, y'all. I might have to change the thumbnail. Somebody said that was pretty smart, brilliant. Uh Cody being in the corner, Cody being ignored, Cody not feeling like he's a part of the big group, because we have to keep in mind that when the Brown family would show up places, they were a force. They show up to a party, they would come into the party, they take the damn party over, Jack. Like you would have like 18 people, you rolling in with a posse, a straight posse. Okay. And Cody is right in the middle of that posse. And Robin, by default, because that's Cody's favorite lady, that's the one that he's trying to show off. That's the one he's showing the most attention to. So when he rolls in, he with that 18 deep, or not even 18 deep, that's 18 kids. So technically he's rolling in 23 deep. Okay, he almost coming in on a quota, not a quarter. He's coming in on a quota. Okay, he coming in with a quota. All right, he rolled in with 25 people, and that's not even including friends and other family members. And all of a sudden he's at the center of that. He feel like a boss. Okay, and then you right there, you got your favorite wife, number one wife. She feel like a boss. And now they go places, it's just the two of them sitting there looking sad. They don't feel like bosses. They feel like employees. Hell, they feel unemployed. They feel unemployable. Okay? They feel like they can't get a job. So yeah, it's tough. Um so when she's sitting there having a discussion with him and she starts harkening back to, well, when we first got together, you were so close to the kids and they were always part of their life. You were what did I say? I wrote it down. It was like you were an active father when you were with the kids back, when I first came into the family. When you first came into the family, Robin, let me give you a little secret. When you first came into the family, he was an active father because when you first showed up, he was living in Lehigh. And because he was living in Lehigh, he was under the same roof as his kids. Not long after you come into the family, you guys get married. Not long after you guys get married, and they move you around the corner, all of a sudden, you guys have to go to Vegas. Not too far from where your stepdad lives. And once you get to Vegas, you guys all separate into different houses. Now, all of a sudden, he's not a super involved father anymore. So it's awesome that you noticed that about him when you took him. But now that you have him, you see that he's not as committed as he once was when you first got him. And I think that there's a reason why. Let me we have some super charts. Let me get some of these super charts. All right, we have Mary Highfield, 9.99 super chat. I am doubting the timeline. Is anyone suspicious that the convo in the snow and confessions is after the tragedy? Puddle monkey in cahoots of spin control. Cahoots with spin control. That could be like I think that that's an excellent point, Mary. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, the 9.99 super chat. That's awesome. But I think that that's actually an excellent point. I do think that there has to be some image rehabilitation with regard, or I won't even say image rehabilitation because technically it's damage control. Because that young man passing, Big G's passing is a terrible blow. It's a terrible blow. And it really is a bad thing. Like I really didn't get into it on here about like trying to assign blame, but I could see where people might have hard feelings about the relationship that Cody had with his kids and how that could potentially be not the reason, but a contributing factor to that young man's state of mind at that time. And that's as far as I'll go with it. But you understand what I'm saying. So, Puddle Monkey, I hate that name, but Puddle Monkey, they might have decided, TLC, they might have decided that like we have to do something because if we show the actual footage, and this is always one of the things with reality shows, with the love characters and even the hated characters, everybody who's on a reality show at some point has said or done something that if people found out that they said or did that thing, it would not only destroy that person's reputation, possibly potentially their life and any employment opportunities or job opportunities or financial opportunities they would get in the future, but it would destroy the show. It would destroy the show. Because sometimes people forget that them cameras in there, they get too, you get angry and, how people get when they get mad. I don't give a F. I'm going to do what I want to do, sucker. I'm me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to say what I like. And they go ahead and say something crazy. And then looking back on it, like, if we ever air this, you will never be able to show your face in public. Because I know, especially as hurt and betrayed and as emotional as Cody is about these kids, and especially with Garrison saying what he said, was it back in season 18 when, we don't need parents or whatever. I know Cody lost his damn mind. And I know he probably said some things that he most likely regrets. So I think that Mary might be hitting on some stuff. I'm gonna leave it there, Mary. We know what we talking about, Mary. Mary might be hitting on something, y'all. So we give Mary a little something, something. The super thanks plus a wink, Mary. Thank you for the super thanks. But that's all I'm gonna say. Thank you, Mary. Oh, I got another one from Betty. Betty Billy. Wait, let me get this on my other screen. Hold on 1 second. I get this on my good screen, so I'll jack this up. I'm going in, y'all. Hold my beer. Yeah, can James mess a name up? Hold my beer. Betty Pospice. Pospisil. Pospisil. I think that's it. I'm so sorry. I'm butchering that. Hell out of it. I can feel it. Oh, that's ugly. I'm sorry, Betty. Betty. P Mama. 999 super chat. James, thank you for keeping me awake as I work on a paper due at midnight for my master's. Okay, master's degree. Okay. All right. I listen to you daily, even listen to some of your videos twice a day to keep me help me with my anxiety. Well, thank you for listening to me at least twice a day. I appreciate that, Betty. Soon to be degreed. Okay. I'm wishing you all the luck on that. I know what that's like. Sit up there trying to hammer out some papers. Oh, hurt my soul. It's one of them things like you wanna get done, you wanna be finished, but you just dread doing it. And so like you're sitting there like, I get everything. You try to get in the zone. The hardest part is when you know you have to do it, but you're not feeling it and it's not coming to you the way it should. Hopefully that's not the case for tonight. Oh, thank you so much. We get like I didn't know I could like these. Everybody I like. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much, Betty. I'm gonna give you a little something, something, Betty. Good luck with that paper. Good luck with your paper. And I apologize for butchering your name. Yeah, when you get done your paper, you have to call in so we can hear how it went, so we can all celebrate. But I'm gonna give you a little. We're gonna do this. Is thank you for the super chat, and hopefully, fingers crossed, after you get your paper back, this will be you. Yeah, you know what I mean. That's how I hope you get it. Like when you get your paper back. Good luck with that. That's awesome. Getting that education. Mm, mm, mm. Love it. Remember, there's nothing more attractive than an intelligent woman. Well, intelligent man too, but not my thing. Yeah. So I mean, it just comes down to, like I said, I do think that is a possibility. I think that excellent points are being made, especially with regard to making sure that images are being rehabilitated enough. Because it's one thing for you to be a villain, it's another thing for you to be a bastard. So if Cody comes off like he's, maybe disjointed or he doesn't understand or he's mistaken or misguided, that's one thing. It's another thing for you to come off and you're extremely cold and you cause harm. And that's where I think TLC is trying to walk that line, because there is a point where it could go bad. It could go real bad. We're about to open up the lines, though. I'm about to get you guys in so you can drop some knowledge. So you guys can drop your knowledge, speak your speech. Yeah, but I overall, I mean, my thoughts on this. Betty Pospisil. I think I got it. Pospisil. 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 I'm sorry, I get trapped and stuff like that. Betty Pospisil. I think that's it. Now, give me a thumbs up if I got it, Betty, because now I'm curious. Um, yeah, guys, I think that overall, I think that there's a point where, again, the idea of the Brown family's version of polygamy is we're seeing the weaknesses and the cracks in the foundation. Like, especially when you start talking about Mary, like that shit is sad. You know what I mean? I don't like to hear that. Like she was relegated to staying in her house yet again by herself for a holiday, um, sick and not able to go anywhere and enjoy the holiday. I did think it was kind of cool. I thought it was kind of cool and kind of telling that normally when we talk about the kids and the mothers, usually it's like all the kids kind of gravitated towards Christine. That's how we always kind of understood, at least from my perspective. I think that's how I always understood it. But I thought it was kind of cool that Janelle was having her Thanksgiving meal and she had her boys there, and Peyton had joined her family, like with her boys and her, and like she probably had uh Savannah and them there too, but her boys, actually Savannah's down in North Carolina, but she had her boys there, and she had Peyton show up because Peyton was always close to the boys. And then, I'm gonna keep it all the way a stack. Like with some of the older kids that Janelle had, they were like the cool kids anyway. So I could see where um Peyton would kind of look up to like his older brother Hunter and Logan. And so for them to be able to go over to their house and spend that time, I can see that where that would be important to him. But I think it's cool, and it shows the how it vacillates between Christine and Janelle. It's not just we're all huddling around Christine and we're circling around her like wagons. It's a true relationship. And I think that I'm happy that TLC actually showed that that relationship goes both ways. That it's not just everybody wanting to hang out with Christine. All Janelle's kids just want to hang out with Christine, but it's Christine's kids actually want to hang out with Janelle too. So it goes both ways because they actually, here's the secret, Cody, they actually have a relationship. They're not just doing it to make you feel bad. They actually have a relationship. And I think part of the reason why they feel so bad is because he feels so bad is because it's hard to face the truth that you failed at certain places. And sometimes I know that's a hard thing to say, but I think there's power in it. There's always a positive in recognizing your victories. But I think that there's a power in recognizing your failures too, recognizing where you came up short. And that's it's a hard thing. Little story time. I was talking to my daughter, right? Because she's one of those weird folks. She likes to be a perfectionist, like with stuff that she does. Like she doesn't like making mistakes. She doesn't like she want to do something and do it right first time, right? Which is, I can see the positives in it. But I've had conversations with her where I've participated in things. Like I have uh fuck it. When I was a younger dude, right? I used to compete. I participated in sports. I was athletic, but I wasn't conventional athletic. So I ran track, cross country, distance races, things of that nature. But as tall as I am, as big as I am, I didn't play football, didn't play basketball. I was too small for football when I was a young dude. And when I went to play basketball, my cousins were phenomenal basketball players. I mean, ridiculous. Like they paid for college playing basketball. And at one point, my other one cousin, if he had grown maybe about 3 or 4 more inches, he would have been in the NBA. Easy. Like they were that good at playing basketball. So I didn't want to play basketball. As you can imagine, some people get really encouraged. Some people not so much. I wasn't not so much. I didn't really find it interesting. But when I was a young kid, my dad, he's a Marine, and he spent some time in Japan, Okinawa, where he studied martial arts. When I was born and I was little, he started training me in martial arts and boxing and all that kind of stuff. And then I get older, and took about four different styles of martial arts or whatever, and I would compete. By the time I got to college, I started competing, right? And my very first competition, I was a favorite to win this competition, and I lost. I lost everything. Like if you ever go to a martial arts competition, you have weapons, forms, fighting. I lost everything. I didn't get not one piece of hardware. I got nothing. Right. And it wasn't like I came in last, but it was like I would come in like fourth. So I was just out of contention. I didn't get a prize. And I remember sitting there, and the owner of the school, I was taking Taekwondo at the time, Kumsum Do Taekwondo. Guy, he comes down, and the owner of the school, he sees me. He was like, give him a trophy. And they were like, I remember. They're like, well, the trophies are for kids. He's like, give his ass a trophy because he looking sad. They gave up because I was looking so pitiful. They gave me a little tiny trophy. I still got that trophy. And later, years later, I went, took some different martial arts or whatever. I would go to competitions. I would travel everywhere. Like I was traveling across the country doing competitions. And I have trophies as tall, like I'm 6'7", 6'6", 6'7". I have trophies as tall as I am down in my basement. Like tall as I am. Big ass trophies. And the craziest thing is that my kids, they see all those big trophies and they don't understand. Like I have some in my family room, and I have a bunch of them in my basement. Too many to put anywhere in the house, really. But I have them up, and amongst like some of my first place trophies that are a little smaller, they're really nice, but they're a little smaller. I have that one trophy that I won or didn't win, the participation trophy, we'll call it. I have that participation trophy up there. And so when oh, not yet, Negla, I will be doing that. Um, but when I talk to my daughter about it, I explained to them before. Excuse me. I explained to them before that, you know, although I do enjoy seeing the first place trophies and all that, the one trophy that I always kind of held close to my heart is that one that I got when I lost. Because it's that one is what made the other trophies even possible. Because when I lost the way I lost, it broke my heart the way I lost, right? But when I lost the way I lost, what that inspired me to do was I was determined that I was never gonna feel like that again. Yeah, like because I was like, God, and I was in the car with a couple dudes like who were from my school. They were riding back with trophies. Right? Kid, I beat every time we fought. I'd whip his ass every time. And he beat me that day. Every dog has his day. He beat me that day. And that's how he got his trophy. Man. But when I got home, I was like, I'll never be in this situation again. So from that point on, when I would get ready to compete or I would come up with stuff, I would practice, I would train, I would be out. Like at the time I had a house and I had a backyard, but the backyard was too dark. So I would be out in the street. Like it was a real quiet street. I'd be out in the street practicing, just practicing for hours, just practice, practice, practice. But it's because of that one little ass trophy. It's that one little trophy. So you have to be able to accept your losses and you learn from your losses, you learn from your failures, and that's how you build and move forward. And so um I think that with Cody, he has to be able to look at his failures, where you came up short, be honest with yourself on where you came up short, and then recognize that so that way you can move forward. Because if you don't ever recognize that you did anything wrong, you don't ever look at your situation and say, this is where I messed up, and this is where I should have did better, and this is where I could do better, and you acknowledge that, then these people are never going to accept you back. These kids, if you never acknowledge what you did wrong to these kids and to their moms, they're never going to accept you. Because why would I sit there with you and listen to you tell me some more bullshit? And in order for us to have a relationship, I have to pretend like what you did to me, you didn't do. And to these kids, it might not be important enough for them to pretend that, that stuff didn't happen. I'm just saying. So Karen Voller, Taekwondo is mostly feet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a lot of kicking. It's a lot of kicking. Which I was deceptively fast. I was very flexible when I was younger. So it actually worked out for me because I'm so tall to reach. That's what I was calling for. But Negla3, $2 super chat. Did you post the link for the live chat? Not yet, but I'm going to post it right now because I'm gonna get you guys up because we're only gonna go for another hour or so. because I gotta get up early. But if you hit me up, Negla, I will bring you up first. And here is, wait, I gotta copy it over. I have to copy it over. Let me just grab it real quick. Here is the link. I'm gonna post it at the top. And you guys can join the chat. Now, normally, in fairness, I don't tell people that I did that stuff. But I just thought it was good for the oh wait. Oh, Philly sticks. Put it in the wrong chat box. And part of the reason I don't is a very good reason as to why I don't tell people about my stuff. Here is the link. Okay, I will post it it'll pop up on the top. I posted it in the wrong chat box. Okay. Pin message. Okay, there we go. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, because when my dad first started teaching me, the first thing he would say is he would say, don't tell people what you know, because they just gonna try you, because most people don't believe you, so they want to see you do it. So they'll try you for that, or they want to see how good they are, so they want to try you, and you'll just spend most of your time, doing stuff to people. And or if you get in a complicated situation with people, then people are scared of you. And I don't ever want people to be afraid of me, because when people are afraid of you and you have disagreements, they get crazy. So instead of them, trying to talk to you, they feel like, oh, he might hurt me. So they go get something, and then that turns into a whole problem. So that's why I'm not really big on like talking about that kind of stuff. But let's see. Oh, okay. We got a super chat. Bugload $5 super chat says Robin was either drawn. Okay. Robin was either drawn to what she experienced with her father, or she created what she experienced with her father. I know they kind of had that when I was a child feeling. I used to say it all the time, like people would pull that, whip it out, like they childhood traumas out, like a playing card. Oh, you have 3 aces. Trump. When I was a child, my father wasn't paying attention to me. But rumor is that Robin's mom kind of did what she did with her ex-husband. So when they got divorced, she took Robin and skedaddled, and then she had married Robin's stepfather, and then kind of forced her natural father out of the picture. So I don't know. I mean, is that an excuse for the dad to not try? Not really. I don't think he could be excused for that, but it's just funny that sometimes you do a thing and then some other things happen. But I'm gonna give this super thanks, and then we're gonna start bringing some peoples up, because I want to hear what you guys have to say. Awesome. Thank you so much, Big Bug Level. Somebody got a lot of bugs. Somebody got a lot of bugs. All right. So first up, we got Negla 3. You ready to come up, Negla 3? I'm gonna rock it, drop you 1, 2, 3. Negla 3 in the house. What's up?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can.
Hello, dear. First of all, and I'm not even trying to in any way be funny or anything like that, but just a person of my skin complexion that loves Sister Wives, because I didn't even like it until it was like the pandemic, and I was like, oh, and I started watching it.
Hey, what's this?
Okay, I fell. Well, no. Well, so this is the thing. My uncle actually is a Mormon priest in California.
Oh wow. Okay.
He literally is, and I struggle to understand And you know what? And I don't get on anybody's faith or anything like that. That's between you and the person that you believe in. Does that make
Right.
sense? If you believe in that or not. However, no, I love you though, because you
Oh,
are
thank you.
like cool. Oh my gosh, bruh. When I tell you, like, anyway, but no. See, I didn't understand why didn't nobody like Mary,
Hmm.
because kind of like I feel like a twin sistership with Mary or whatever. And but you know what? You have to understand. This is the thing Mary was going through. First of all, her husband never loved her.
Right.
Second of all, her daughter turned into a son. You know what I mean? Which is hard for anybody to accept. Even if you would have known it or would have known whatever, this, that, and the other, as a parent, as somebody who's given birth to 3 children, live birth to 3 children, for me, that would be difficult to not necessarily to accept, but to like you know what I mean? Like as a parent.
Well, I think as a parent, one of the
But
challenges.
you accept your children.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right. No, but I think one of the challenges is like if I'm getting you right, I think one of the challenges is when you have your kids, you have an idea of where they're going and what their life is going to be like, and
Right, and
then
she
there's a
didn't project that. She did
right,
not project that path for Leon. She did not ever expect that or project that. And she was also, remember, she was also loyalty, or not loyalty, but royalty. Um, Christine, they keep talking about Christine was royalty. Robin was royalty as well. That was the only reason why Cody married her. Cody didn't
oh
give two
yeah.
squirts about her. He really didn't. That was arranged. Am I wrong?
Well, because you're talking about Mary being royalty, like I think she's related. Christine was
Exactly. Her mother, her one of her mothers was on Arred,
right, right,
which made her Christine's cousin
right.
or daughter, sister, or something. Well, I don't know. You
Well,
know,
well, it's
I'm not trying to be funny, but
because they have such
I'm sorry.
large families.
Yes,
I
sir.
think Christine was more of a direct descendant. Like she could look back and be like,
Yes,
you know,
Christine was the granddaughter of the one that got everybody in trouble or whatever.
right,
I don't know. You know what I mean? But Mary had been descended from there, and when they got married back in the 80s, that was why she married or that was why Cody was pledged to her or whatever. I don't know, it was arranged or something like that. Now, I didn't understand why people didn't like Mary, but when I was looking back at the other episodes, and I was like, yeah, she is kind of a B. No,
right,
I
right,
like her. I do like Mary because she says what's on her mind, but I don't like the fact that she just says what's on her mind and keeps going. She doesn't take the time to acknowledge other people or their what they're going through or their feelings or anything like that. She doesn't take the time to recognize Christine or Janelle. Robin, I could give 2 squirts. I don't care. I really don't. And I just don't. Whatever her children went through, yes, I feel bad for, but I don't care about about Robin. I really
okay.
don't.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Well, because I
And,
think Mary has that hidden effect. And to be honest with you, I think that with Mary's situation, she's given a lot of grief because of what she put the other two women through early on, Christine and Janelle, because she was a little hard to live with. But I think that the
but Mary
nature
was
of
working, and
well,
Christine. Remember, Christine was are not. Yeah, Christine was not working. Janelle was working. Janelle was the workhorse
right, Janelle
in
was
the
a
family.
breadwinner.
Am I
Janelle was a
wrong?
breadwinner.
Yeah, yes, yes, ma'am. All right, I said yes, ma'am. I'm God, my goodness, my brain.
That's
But
I
no,
got
yes,
you.
sir, no, sir, no, sir. But I mean, you know what I mean. She was the workhorse. Janelle, it was Janelle's money, but you know what? But they make it seem like Mary never worked. She did work. Remember, she had to quit her job because they came out.
Right. No, well, she was making money, but she wasn't making enough money to be able to
No.
provide for the family.
Oh no. She was making money for like Dairy Queen on Thursdays or whatever.
I mean, she was taking care of, like, I don't want to diminish what Mary was going through, but I'll just say that they give her a hard time because of how she treated the other women. But I think that in looking at that, we have to take into account that it's built into the system of polygamy and how she's receiving. Because she was asked to, even though she grew up in a polygamous culture, it's very difficult. It's kind of what we were talking about with realizing who your children are when they come out. Like, it's very different for you to take a position that I accept everybody. It's another thing when one of your kids or somebody that you care about comes to you, and now your position is tested. Like, you can say whatever, when I go out, somebody come up to me, I'm gonna blah blah blah, and I'm gonna get wild. You know how I do, but you don't know what you're gonna do until you're in that situation.
Exactly.
And I think that kind of is where Mary was, is that even though she grew up in polygamy, she didn't know how to do polygamy because she wasn't ready for the feelings of jealousy, the feeling of envy, the feeling of neglect, the feeling of isolation.
That when Leon, and I respect Leon's choice. I really do. I really do. But that was like, for them, that was a mind changer. It was like, oh my gosh. But you notice nobody's saying anything about the younger daughter.
Gwen?
Who she's Gwen, yes. Who and I'm not, look, transgender, and you know what I mean, or you know what I mean. I respect both choices. I really do. I'm not trying to, make it like a whatever, but it's like, okay, but nobody's saying anything about this. Okay,
Right. Well, because I think,
do you understand?
I get where you're coming from, but I think that with
am I making
Leon,
too much of it?
No, well, because I think that with Leon's case, she was the first one out the box. So she, like, the first child, like, you catch up when you're the oldest child, you get all the crazy rules.
That's true. That's true.
By the time they have like the 10th child, they probably didn't even know where the 10th
child
was.
Where'd you come from? Oh, Are you really related to me? Did you come out of my? Sorry, I forgot. Yeah,
they're not even looking for them. I think that I think that Leon helped to pave a lot of the road for Gwen and anybody else who came out will come out in the family. I think that Leon took a lot of that. So, because she introduced a whole new thing, and Mary was the one who was probably the most tied into a lot of the faith system of the church through her mom. Because
Mary and
mom
Janelle
was the one that encouraged. Well, the mom is.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Mary and Christine.
Mary's mom.
Christine is an all red.
Right, Christine is an all red, but Mary's mom is the one who encouraged her when she was having problems with Cody and her difficulties with polygamy. It was Mary's mom who told her to stay. Like, Mary's mom, like, don't complain about polygamy to me. Go back to your husband. So if she ever thought about leaving, she forced her back.
Yeah, it was like, but you told me, mommy, and it was almost like a back and forth. And the fact that she couldn't have any more kids, and legit, remember when Christine was in labor, active labor with Truly, the one that had scoliosis, and daddy couldn't fly to New York for some reason to go with her to have her surgery anyway. But when she was in labor with scoliosis, or I'm sorry, with the daughter that has scoliosis, he said, oh, well, he said, I have a wife and she can't conceive. Can you do in vitro? He asked that.
Right. Yeah, that was well, he was.
Am I wrong?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
A little bit, because Truly was the one she was in labor with. Isabella's a little older.
Oh, Isabel's the one that has. Okay, I apologize.
No,
I did not mean that. I did not mean to say that incorrectly. I did not. But either way, though, still, I'm in birth. I'm in labor. I'm in active labor. Is that the best time to talk to me? I'm
Well,
sorry.
the doctor brought it up last week, so he remembers too.
I just like, it's like, what the thing is, like, I try to find something to hold on for with Cody, because as I said, so, and I started this conversation, and I'm sorry, sir, I know I done kept you for so long, but I'm telling you, look, my father's father, he claimed 30 that he gave birth to, or he had 30. He didn't give birth to him, but they came from him. Okay, 30.
Okay.
And I know with my grandmother, I know there were 18, 14 survived. Okay.
Wow.
One of them was my father. And, and I love my father. But my thing is, but if you're not going to like spend time with them and give them love and give them the things that they need, and when you see the interviews with their children are like, yeah, he was there. And then, 12 years ago, something happened. We all know what happened 12 years ago.
Right. He got a girlfriend.
No, he got the putang he wanted.
Right.
Can I say that? Oh, I'm sorry. I hope that's not a bad word.
No,
I'm sorry.
out there now. So
okay, I'm sorry. No. But you feel what I'm saying? I said putang. I didn't say nothing bad. Anyway, he got what he wanted, and because all of their mothers were too old.
Right.
And that's basically what everybody sees. Why can't he see that? It's just like his hair. Bruh, we already know you got 3 inches of hair. No, and I'm talking about Cody.
Right.
You got hair, but
well, I mean, it's back. His hair is back. I get it. He blown out.
No. His hair is not back. He got an operation or something, because that's different. Anyway,
he got plugs. But let me.
He got blood infusions, transfusions. Sorry, you know what, dear? I'm sorry. You know what? I'm talking to you like way too much. Like I'm talking, but you cool people though, and I appreciate the channel, and that's why I became a member, and that's why I called in, because I'm dead serious. I like with him. No, I can't. It's like I'm here for the wives, except for Robin, because Robin is actually not even she is his wife. That's his only wife. Right. The other 3, he don't care about. He does not care about. He said it several times, but then he's like, well, I don't know why Mary stopped caring for me. But no, you said that you didn't give 2 squirts about Mary.
Right.
What is your problem?
Right.
Like,
well, he's been saying that for years, in fairness. But let me let you go, because I got a.
Oh, I'm sorry. You got. Bye, dear. Take care.
Thank you for calling in, though. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
In. Appreciate you.
God bless you. Take care.
You can always call back. You can always.
Yes, sir. Back. Yes, sir.
Right?
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, we have another person coming up. Just hold on 1 second. Let's just make sure. Yep, we got somebody coming up. Emma is in the house. Emma, what's going on? How you doing?
Hi.
How goes it?
Oh my God, I loved your first caller so much. She had it all.
Yeah, right.
I just want to bring attention to Robin and her one tear with Cody in the driveway. The snowy driveway. Come on.
Yeah, she meets you outside. That's we gotta talk. I'm losing respect for you.
Oh, bullshit.
Yeah. Well, what did Cody say before when he was talking to Janelle? He said, without the respect, you can keep the love, right? What happened? I don't see that same energy.
I know you don't see my middle finger, but holy shit. Oh my God.
Yeah, he was not happy.
No.
You know?
Oh my... Jesus.
But what did you think about the were you moved at all by Robin's proclamation that Cody needs to be in touch with his kids? Did that change your opinion of Robin? Did it make you feel like Robin is like the kids' vanguard and vanguard for the family?
Absolutely not. Like you're trying you try to feel for Robin, and it just is like it falls flat. It falls. It's just like, yeah, are you sure? Like what the hell?
Yeah, it came off a little. It came off a little shallow. Like I would feel better about it if she was really into it. Like she did her best to try to come off like she was really passionate and really moved to make this point, but I just didn't feel it.
No,
You know what I mean? Like she was saying the lines though. She was saying the words.
Exactly. She was saying the words. Didn't feel it at all. Seriously, it was like, meh.
Yeah, right. Thanks for trying, but not really. You didn't. You know what I mean? You did your best. But I just wasn't. I wanted to believe her, like, because, like I said, she said a lot of the stuff. She said things that I've said before on my YouTube, so I can't even say like, "Oh, I think she's wrong," because I've said those same things. But it's just there's a lot of water under the bridge. I think that that's maybe where my complication for believing in what she's saying comes from, because there's so much under the bridge.
But James,
so much we've
seen.
Squeezed
one tear.
Yeah, finally. How about that? Finally. 19 seasons I watched this woman try to cry. She finally got one. Yeah. I think she was in the house rubbing onions on her eyes. That's why she skip her ass down to the damn driveway real fast, because she was like, it's coming.
Yeah, she's got that Vicks vapor rub under her eye.
Yeah. She's in there spraying mace in her face. Just I feel like I'm losing respect for you. You know, the mace started kicking in heavy.
Really? Yeah. You're losing respect for your moneymaker. Come on.
Yeah, right. She might be though, because if the money start coming up short, she got to get that exit plan together. And I think that that's one of the things that Cody has to watch out for.
James, she already has her exit plan. Come on. Let's not fool ourselves. She already has her exit plan.
Well, yeah, I think, but what I'm saying is I think part of that plan is she has to get the television footage of her begging him to try to be more mindful, and then her trying to have these conversations and trying to work it out, but he's so disagreeable and so angry and he can't work it out with her, and therefore it makes the situation irreconcilable. And now we have these irreconcilable differences, and that's why I'm leaving. Technically, in where she is, she doesn't. It's a no fault divorce state. So,
really, Arizona is.
Yeah, I believe so. Let me check it real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she can bounce. So she's actually doing way too much work. I think she's doing way too much work. But it's nice to see that she actually, she's getting some stuff done, I guess,
She's a smooth operator.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so what were your thoughts on the show?
Like, seriously, I thought they were trying desperately to but we want to reconcile and blah blah blah, and I just didn't believe it at all.
Right. Well, because it felt, because I'll let you go on this note, but I think that it felt staged for the most part. Like I feel like they have to come up with a storyline for Cody and Robin. They're still kind of dredging up the sister wife scandal, like the sister wife's leaving them, and that's why he's so crazy. But they're trying to create an interest in them, but they're not committed to it, because in order for there to be a disagreement, somebody has to be wrong. For TV, somebody has to be wrong. And I didn't see anybody in that particular conversation taking responsibility for anything that they did wrong. And then Robin didn't want to say, Cody, you did wrong. You're doing the wrong thing.
She just squeezed a tear.
Yeah, and she squeezed out a tear, and she told him that he needed to contact his kids. But she didn't say, Cody, you're wrong and how you did it. You're wrong because of how you treated your kids. You're wrong because you weren't paying attention to them. You're wrong because she just said you need to keep trying. There's a difference. There's a very subtle difference in the two. you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but thank you for calling in, and make sure we give appreciation for Robin in that single tear, because she's been working very hard to get that out.
I want that tear. I want that tear.
Hopefully it crystallized out there, because they was outside like jackasses standing in the snow.
Love you, James. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling in. Appreciate you. Great job. All right, and we have another caller, Tanya Carter, up in the house. Tanya, what's going on?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. How you doing?
I'm good. It's nice to meet you, James. I listen to you all the time.
Thank you. Nice to meet you as well. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So what were your thoughts?
Oh, I felt tonight was just we're gonna re-image Robin.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's right. That's 100% where I'm at.
It really felt like we're just really trying to make Robin seem like a good person. They've never talked about her father. She has only ever talked about, the one dad that lives in Las Vegas, and to the point where I was like, well, does she not have another dad?
Mm-hmm.
But we knew he wasn't her dad. So it's like when she brought that story up, it was almost like, okay, well, they're telling that story so it can seem like, her talking about you need to get the kids back, and that it seemed genuine. So it just felt like a whole re-imaging of Robin tonight, and I wasn't buying it.
Right. Yeah, because it's just like the whole time, like even from, like I said, from the early onset when they were at McKelty's house and Robin was talking, everybody was like, oh, Robin, you were so great. Thank goodness you were here. You were sacrificing yourself, sleeping in the closet. And when the baby woke up, you bring the baby in here to get fed. And you would take both the babies back into the closet and you would leave us to be able to have paradise in the house. And everybody in the house was kissing her behind.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cringy for me to watch. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like that whole thing, that whole scene was a little cringy because it was just too much praise. It
was a lot. It was a lot. And when they panned to the little bed in the closet, I'm just not buying it.
Look how she suffered. Like that's what it felt like. She suffered. And then she's out there arguing with Cody.
I will say, and I listened to something Sarah posted today, and she said how refreshed Robin looked being 2 weeks away from Cody. I will agree with that.
Oh yeah, she came back. It looked like she hit the spa. Yeah. You know what I mean? She hit the salon, got her nails did. Got her hair done. She got her wig done. You know what I mean? Like she's set up. And it is crazy to me because wasn't there a time during, especially during COVID, or 1-9, I'll call it 1-9, during the 1-9, when Cody was saying that he can't be away from the house for more than 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden, mom can be away from the house for 2 weeks, and everything is gravy.
Yeah.
Like so, which is, you know what I mean? Again, I just have that question: which is it? Can they not be away, or can they be away? The kids not looking for mom; they only look for Cody. Like that's
it's always they got to pick a side. Mm-hmm. It's I miss the family, I miss the gatherings, but at the same time, the family didn't accept us and they were horrible to us. Right. Which one is it?
Right. These people were terrible to me, but I missed them so much.
But I miss them. And she said something. She always talks to her kids about how they just don't want to be with us, and but not realizing these are adults. These are grown-ass adults now. They have their own families. Tell your children they're adults now. They have their own families. They have their own kids. They've moved away. It's not that they don't want to be with us anymore. They've grown up and moved on.
Right. And you know what? And in fairness, not only are they adults, but they're young adults. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I get it. Like Cody's taking a position that, they should be in the same situation I'm in. And you have to be able, even as you become an adult and you have kids, and some part of you has to remember what it was like to be a child. You know what I mean? And as you move into your middle age years, you have to remember what it was like to be a young adult and even a young parent. Like, so yeah, it's easier for you guys because all your kids are pretty much grown and you have 2 children who are young.
Yeah.
So, and when I say young, they're in school young. You have children, like you have other children who are young adults who have babies. So they're dealing with babies while you guys are dealing with school-age children. So you're just, even though you're kind of in the same place, you're in way different places.
Yeah.
So you just have to respect. Like, I think that Cody has to respect that part of it. Like, no, they're not going to be able to call you when you want to call and you go pop up on them because they don't have that kind of time. You just got to respect them.
Exactly. And I think he said something tonight to Robin about how, you know, they moved away from him, not realizing him and Robin moved them away from their family in the first place. Right. They moved back to where their family is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's a great point too, because even the ones that are in Las Vegas, you move like what's it? No sooner that Aspen and Mitch got married in Las Vegas, they moved to Las Vegas to be with the Browns. Mm-hmm. No sooner that they got married, the Browns moved away from them.
Yes.
You know, and then they moved away from the kids in Utah. So it's almost like I can't believe these kids aren't where I want them to be.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, you're right. You're right.
You moved away.
Right. Yeah, I went to your house. You're not there. What are we talking about here? What are we doing? You know? And it's just, I think that's the thing that I think that hits a point too. I'm glad you brought it up, or at least reminded me of it. But that hits a point for me because I think that throughout everything that Cody says, there's a hint of selfishness. And even with Robin, a lot of what she says, I hear the selfishness in what she's talking about because everything is about how these the dissolution of these relationships affect me and how I'm dealing with it and how I'm struggling. But you don't recognize it. You know what I mean? Your family fell apart. If you're married to somebody and your relationship falls apart, that's between you and the person that you're with. Your kids are the fallout, and they don't have a say, and they feel powerless in that situation.
Right.
So for Cody and Robin, like, yeah, your relationship, or for Cody and the other wives, yeah, Christine, Janelle, their relationships fell apart between the two of them, but the kids feel that too. And you have to acknowledge their pain in dealing with that relationship falling apart and acknowledge it, accept it, and be willing to listen to them. And if you had a conversation, look, guys, me and your mom, stop telling people that you didn't love their mama. Like, that's ridiculous.
That, yeah.
That's ridiculous. Even if that shit is true, pardon my friend.
Yeah.
Even if that's true, you keep that to yourself. That should have been the secret that you take to your grave with you. You shouldn't even say that in a room by yourself out loud. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. If that is true, you don't even say that to yourself out loud in a room for fear that somebody might be walking by an open window at some point. You should keep that to yourself. Things didn't work out between me and your mom. That doesn't change how I feel about you because our relationship is our relationship, and me and your mom, we will work it out. But I want to make sure that you understand and I'm here for you. That's the conversation you have with your kids. And let that be the priority. But don't take it out on your kids, which is what I feel like Cody's been doing. Mm-hmm. Don't take it out on your kids because you don't get along with their mom.
Yeah.
Because that's not fair to the kids. Like I said, they don't have nothing to do with it. It's nothing. McKelty, Aspen, they couldn't go to Christine like, I want you to go home.
Yeah.
Dad wants you home at 9:00. Child need to stay at the child place. That's what I heard.
No, I think one of your other callers said something about she felt like that whole scene with Cody and Robin tonight was probably kind of like a collateral damage for what's to come with what happened with G's.
Mm-hmm.
I think she might be right.
Right.
I think she might be right because now that I think back and looking at, I'm gonna have to watch tonight's episode again, but I think so because they look really bad when that happened. And of course, I don't blame them. There had to be more going on there, but they did look really bad when that happened.
Right.
So I think trying to re-image Robin tonight, because she was kind of at the center of all of that with that argument with 19 and all of that. I think that's really why they're trying to re-image her so much. So when that comes out, it's like, oh, but she did try. She was trying to get him to talk to his kids.
Right. I think that's a great point. Because I do think that, like, looking on it, there was a lot of, because I remember when it first happened, even on my channel, like I tried to stay away from the blame because I was just trying to help to process the loss and the tragedy.
Yeah.
But I did get a lot of folks who were very angry at Cody and Robin over what happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if I'm getting it, I'm a smaller YouTube channel, I know that TLC was hearing about it.
Mm-hmm.
So this might have been their way of trying to circumvent that. So I think that's a good point. I think that's fair.
Yeah, because I remember when it happened, I was kind of wanting to see what you were going to say, and you were very classy about it. I would have probably gone about it the same way and just, stay out of it. But that's what I think they're doing.
Yeah, because it can get sticky. Like, and the whole time I've been hoping that TLC would be respectful of his memory and not try to, not like give him his credence, give him his credit, give him his time in the sun, give him his flowers, but don't turn it into anything salacious, because that'll be too much. Like, I think it'll be too much. But yeah. But these two, like, in fairness, I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck. Like, these two, I am concerned because Robin and Cody are habitual rake steppers, and so they'll take it too far. You know what I mean? So I do have concerns about that. Like, trying to make themselves look good, not realizing that if they say the wrong thing, it'll make them look terrible. Like,
they always take it too far. Take it too far. There was a second tonight when I was watching the show that I said, maybe Robin does care about these kids. But then Cody said something and I was like, no, I don't believe it anymore. So they always do go a little too far.
Yeah. But thank you so much for calling in. I got to bounce in some more callers, but I appreciate you calling in. Awesome job.
Absolutely. I'm going to keep watching you.
Thank you. Have a great night, all right?
You too. Good night.
All right, good night. All right, and next up we have Miss Vita. Vita, what's going on?
What's going on, James?
How are
Mr.
you?
James. I'm very good.
Awesome. Well, let me know what you think about tonight's episode, Miss Vita. Tell it like it is. Say it with your chest.
Well, sir, I didn't watch tonight's episode, and I'm saying that with my chest. Like someone else, I don't know if it was a caller or someone that messaged, but I was writing a paper.
Oh, okay.
And you know what? I was like, I'll just catch James and see what he has to say about the episode, and I'll just do a little roundup. And apparently, I didn't miss much because it sounds like the same thing we've been hearing for the past 3 episodes.
Yeah. I mean, tonight, the only substantive difference is we actually got to see a disagreement between Robin and Cody. But even though it's a new disagreement, a new trope for us, I don't feel like the disagreement was as deep as they're trying to make it out to be, if that makes sense. Like,
of course not.
Like I've, everybody, if you've been in a relationship, you've been in some arguments. Like, this wasn't really like a,
no.
I'm out of here, this is ridiculous. That wasn't one of those arguments.
I remember there was a couple episodes ago, or maybe it was before the show started up again, but you had said something in one of your videos or one of your lives, and you were like, when somebody just wants to talk, like, they'll just say anything. And even if it's a serious topic, they'll just say it. Like, they're just feeling, like someone said before, she's saying the right things, but it doesn't have that, I feel like there's just no value in it to her, you know? So I don't know how that conversation actually went because, again, I did not watch it. But from what y'all are saying, it was fake and phony.
Yeah. 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 It was a little hollow. It's just like you ever hear somebody say like have that conversation where the person is saying all the right words, but you're like, you don't believe none of this.
Yeah.
like you're singing a song and you're singing the words, but you're not hitting none of the notes.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel like I'm watching Cody and Robin's karaoke. You know, they're just doing bad karaoke.
You know, last episode though, I kind of like, so I guess it was this episode and last episode. They are really, really trying to do an overhaul on Robin, and I had like a little inkling in the back.
Hello? Uh-oh. Did we lose her? Vita, come back.
Can you
Vita?
hear me?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. The Kremlins don't want you saying it. Go ahead.
I know. They need to stay away in the name of Jesus. Come on.
Trying to stop you, you know? Like the devil is a lie.
But,
God is good all the time, you know.
Hello. Come on, Kremlins.
Right.
But I felt like everything that McKelty was saying, it actually kind of humanized Robin for me. I don't know. I know people are not going to like hearing that, but at the end of the day, these are people. And something that really got me, and with that portion, and then when they started talking about her youngest daughter, I forget her name, but I'm just seeing that Cody is the center of the whole thing. And he's done it with each wife. He puts them in the front and he makes them the enemy. He did it with Mary. He did it with Christine. I think Janelle kind of stays out of the way, so that probably it might not have happened with her. But he will use someone to make the other wives jealous. And now we're actually just seeing that it's Robin. But if they had a show 20 years ago, maybe it would have been Christine when she came into the family. Right. You know what I mean? So I think that Robin has kind of it's kind of like a, not fight or flight, what's the word? It's kind of just like you're adapting to your environment. She adapted to what she had to do to be able to survive in that environment, unfortunately. And her children are doing the same thing. That manipulation, crying stuff, very weird. And we joke about it, but that's a learned behavior. You know what I mean? Like her kids have learned that when they cry, they do the little pouty face, they, do the woe is me. That's when they're going to get the reaction that they want out of their parents. And it's kind of unfortunate that, that's the way they're being raised in that household. But to the point of the other kids, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't want to be around somebody like that, And especially if y'all are in a whole lot in the house. Like, I wouldn't want to go to that house.
Right. No, well, because I think that's one of the challenges is that when you talk about like somebody who's always at the center of attention, that's what that calls for. So when woe is me, I'm going through so much, I'm having all kinds of problems. Like historically, I said that this is something that Robin would have learned early on, especially with so many children in her family growing up. Everything's a competition. So the kid that gets the most attention is the kid who has problems. If you have a kid who is troubled versus a kid who is accomplishing things, they first of the roll, they're in honor roll, they in the scholarship society, they, you know what I mean, they're killing school, they're doing sports, they're doing all this great stuff. And then you have the outsider kid who's a little weird and got problems, and they always seem sad. You're more concerned about that child that seems like they're struggling. And so that child gets far more focus than the child who's doing well. And the weird part about it is, and nobody really thinks about it, I guess I'm saying nobody really thinks about it, but the challenge is that kid who is doing well, he needs or she needs to get as much
attention
of that attention too.
Yeah.
Like just because they're doing well doesn't mean that they don't need attention and they don't need to be celebrated, and they don't want to hear good job from their mom or their dad. You know what I mean?
And obviously, you just tapped on something big right there, because obviously he always says, I care about the littles. I want to be with the little kids, because those are the ones that he feels are, quote unquote, the most vulnerable. And I mean, I'm ADD too, but he's a different kind of ADD, because he can only pay attention to one thing at it. Like, it's just the kids, just the babies, so they turn 18 and it's like, whatever, bye.
Right. Well, because it's so much of the because I think there's so much with him as far as like the triangulation effect. Like he doesn't want to ever be, nothing is ever his fault. So even when he's having disagreements with his kids, it's not that he's having disagreements with his kids, it's that his kids can't accept the fact that he's having disagreements with their mother. So it's their mother's fault. And if it's not their mother's fault, the fact that he didn't love their mothers, then it's the fact that they don't get along with Robin. It's not him. It's somebody else. And he's always protecting somebody else as opposed to being the problem. So a part of the problem. So I think that there's a lot of that. So like you were saying, he pushes the other wives ahead and have them all fighting with each other. He's been doing that for years. And this is how he's grown up.
Okay, so, psychological James.
Yeah, right. Psycho James now. But yeah, but I think that that's part of the issue that he has, is that he pushes everybody else in front of him. Like in a weird way, is I'm defending you, because that's what he kept saying to Robin. I'm not going to let them call you names and this, that, other. But you're saying you're protecting her as you're using her as a shield to protect yourself. You know what I mean? I'm protecting you as you catch all the fire that's coming
and pissing everybody else off at the same time.
Right. Yeah. And I think that he doesn't mind them being mad at Robin, because that gives him an excuse to not deal with them. So
my thing is, what's the end game?
With him, I don't think he thinks that far, because what I find is that you would think that people like that have a lot of planning and a lot of foresight, but I think that they can only see the move right in front of them. And so if they think they're getting what they want for now, they're okay with getting what they want for now. But they can't see like, okay, well, if I keep going like this in 5 years, Christine is going to walk out on me. Right. Mary's going to leave. Janelle's going to leave. Yep. They only see what they want right now. And then when things do turn on them, then it's not their fault. That's part of the reason why I think that he's so confident in saying, I don't understand what I did wrong. Because he never planned for any of this stuff. I don't think he even saw this, like, as stupid as it is, I don't think he ever saw that this was coming. Like, I don't think it is the furthest reaches of his mind, he never thought that Christine or Janelle were actually going to leave him.
Yeah, because he was shocked. Like, he's still shocked. He's shocked and confused. Like, they rocked his world.
Right. Yeah, I can't believe they're not even coming up to me. I show up to the wedding and they're not coming up to me, kissing my behind, trying to get back in.
Yeah.
That's what's supposed to happen.
Right. That is crazy. Well, good luck to him.
Right. But thank you for calling in. I'm going to bounce into some more callers. But thank you so much for calling. I appreciate the conversation. That was awesome.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a great night.
You too.
All right. Guys, I'm gonna be right with you, Brittany, and I have Christy Ford, and then I have Alex Smith, and then Michelle. All right, let's get it. First, go do this super chat real quick. Christy Ford, $2 super chat. I think he's lost his mind over the past few seasons. Yeah, he crazy as a cat shit. He just can't get caught up. Let me see. All right. Yeah, he just can't get caught up. So we're going to give you a little something, then we're going to jump right over to Brittany now. Brittany! All right. Now. All right. Brittany now. Brittany in the house. Hold on, let me do one thing real quick. Thank you so much, Brittany. Now, Brittany, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good. This episode was something. I was like, okay. And like some people in the chat and the previous caller said, like, I really was like, am I Am I feeling sorry for Robin? I think I might. No, I'm not. Never mind.
Yeah, right.
Never mind. I
Yeah,
spoke too soon. Spoke way
yeah,
too
yeah.
soon.
I'm kind of in
And
that same boat. Like part of you is like, yeah, like because there's the good side and then there's the
Mhm.
bad side, and you're like, the good
Yes.
side's like, wow, maybe I got it all wrong. Maybe she's a
Wow.
good person, and then the bad side's like, you you've been paying attention for the last
Right.
18 seasons. You know she full of shit. Stop playing, yo. And the bad side's like, so the bad side sometimes wins out. I gotta tell you, pardon my
Right.
French.
Right. Because she said up. My thing with Robin is like Robin does not care that Cody is not talking to them kids.
Right.
Robin
Right.
cares that we care that Cody not talking to them kids. That's Robin's issue. Robin, the only reason, because everything that we've been saying has been being said for years, season after season after season, has been the fans. The fans never liked Robin or Cody. Like they've been
Right.
on the bottom two, just switching between each other, fighting for last place,
Right.
basically.
Since the show
But
started. Right.
yes, so now all of a sudden, she wants to come on camera talking about how Cody should be reaching out to the kids and everything. And this is what she's saying privately. Quote, we're supposed to believe that this is a conversation that she's having privately. But then we get shows like the Tell All. They don't really tell all that much, but in the Tell All,
Right.
where she's taking Cody's side. And you're just like, I can't believe you have to pick a side. You have to stand 10 toes down on what it is. Either you're on Cody's side and Cody don't do nothing wrong, and maybe you have something, some opposing opinions of his, but you're not going to say anything, or you've
Right.
been fighting for these kids this entire time. But
Right.
your actions show that you're only fighting for you and your biological kids. You don't care anything about those other kids when they're not praising you. And that's the big thing that frustrates me with Robin, is that she just won't stand 10 toes down. Like, if don't victimize yourself and then go, I'm not the victim.
Right.
Don't not care about these kids and then go, well, I do care about these kids. Just be what you are.
Right.
With
Right.
pride.
Right. Well, it's funny you say that, because I've always taken a position that when I deal with people, I like to do so on a consistent basis. So if I believe in something and I believe something is right, right is right, wrong is wrong. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, in the words of Rock. It doesn't matter, who I'm talking to or what I'm talking about. If you do the wrong thing, I'll call you out for doing the wrong thing. If you're doing the right thing, I don't care if I like you, I don't like you, then I have to try to call those fair balls and strikes. And if Robin disagrees with what Cody is doing, I wish I had seen that level of disagreement prior to now.
Yes.
And that's part of the reason why I just rings so hollow. Like this, if we're watching, life isn't a TV show, but people are consistent. And people don't go from one day, you're a strict vegetarian, PETA protecting animals, and then the next day you're at the steakhouse eating everything that ain't nailed down. If it had a pulse, you eating it. You're not those people like that. People don't just switch like that. So if you have to show some kind of consistency, or you have to show some gradual change, this isn't something that you could really have a gradual change in, especially if you're saying that when I was a child, my father didn't pay attention to me, and I don't feel as though a natural father should ignore his children. Now that I think about it, I'm glad you brought this up, because a time that she would have been able to say that, if you remember back in season 17, we're on they were talking about the kids going back to school, and they were online.
Yes.
And
he says the older kids don't need their dad.
Right. She should have, and I said it during that episode. She should have.
That was your chance. You should have been fake crying
damn
then.
parents. You know what I mean? I'm speaking as somebody who, like my mom, I still have my dad, but my mom passed away. And I'm speaking as a person who lost a parent. Everybody who I ain't no spring chicken, but I wish there ain't a day that go by. I don't wish I could pick up the phone and call my mom and have a conversation. You know what I mean? And that's something that, I mean, maybe the loss of a parent, but Cody lost both his parents. So that doesn't make any sense. But if you understand the importance of a parent, and it's not just you looking for like, I'm not looking for my mom to pay my bills, but I look for that, like those conversations, that insight, that wisdom. I miss that wisdom. That input of wisdom where you could call your mom, like, okay, I get a perspective of that previous generation who has that life experience. Nothing's new under the sun. They've seen things and they can give me their perspective on these things, or I can bounce things off of them. And that's the stuff that you can give your kids, even though they're adults, especially young adults. They need that guidance. You know what I mean? But that would have been the time. I'm sorry, I went on a rant. But
oh no, you're fine.
But that would have been a time when Robin could have looked over Cody and said, "What? Are you out your damn mind?"
Bro, so my parents, it's their anniversary. They've been married for like 34 years today.
Okay.
34 years today. So
happy anniversary, Brittany, not Brittany parents.
Yes. They're they're on vacation. And I still I'm in my 30s and I'm like, Mommy, I have a question. Can you if she don't answer the phone, why? What are you doing? Who's more important than me? Same with my dad. Like, you're not answering. I still need my parents. I'm like on a job hunt. I'm sorry. Quick side note, my own story time. I'm like, going into a different career field. I'm absolutely gonna be calling my parents to be like, hey, did I fill out my W-2 right? Because that's just, you need your parents. You need them. No matter how old you get, you need them. And the thing with Cody is, it's like his kids are telling him that they need him. That's literally what this whole thing, when he's talking about, is like, I don't know what I did wrong. Your kids have told you season after season after season, we need you. Your wives had told you they need you. And the thing is Cody just doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to do it, but he wants us to feel bad for him, that these are the repercussions of his own actions. He's like, he hasn't talked to any of these people. He said out of his own mouth that he didn't know that Maddie had a whole nother baby since the last time he talked to her. He just didn't even know. And he's like, they have the audacity to be having more fun than me at this wedding. So these are your priorities? The fact that people are smiling and you haven't even seen this brand new child?
Right.
That's why nobody likes you. That's why nobody likes you, and that's why people think about throwing things at you when they see you in public. That's
because
exactly why.
Because you're self-absorbed, yeah.
Yes. A quick side note. I'm gonna go quick side note. Christine and David's relationship should have been talked about during the wedding special. I don't care. They're married. It worked out for them. They're beautiful. It's fantastic. I don't care that she met David. I'm glad that she did, but we could have had this whole background of them meeting 10 months ago.
Yeah, I agree.
That's just where it is.
Yeah, it's crazy too, because like I can appreciate the development of Christine's relationship, but like you said, I think that she gets, because TLC mispresented the whole thing. I think that her relationship is going to kind of get swept aside, or the development of a relationship, because you see the end. It's like if you get a mystery novel, or you get a murder mystery or whatever, and you read the first 3 pages and then you go to the last 5 pages, then
you already know.
Am I reading the book for real?
It's cool, but I'm gonna skip some chapters because I already know.
I read the wrap up, so I know
Right.
exactly how he did it.
It's fine.
Right. I don't need to listen to him running through room to room to room and question this
Right.
person, that person. I know who did it.
Yes.
So yeah.
So that, and Cody really sat there and said that back to the Cody and Robin topic, he said that he and Robin were hurting more than the kids. The kids who don't get to see their dad, don't get to see their other siblings, but they're hurting more. And I mean, I'm sure they are probably hurting more because them trying to play Jenga was embarrassing.
Painful. Yeah, that shit was painful.
Like y'all never seen that was a brand new box. Y'all just this y'all first time playing Jenga. We supposed to believe y'all do this all the time, perpetually, as Cody would say. Okay.
Yeah, right. They were playing Jenga like people who never even saw Jenga. You never saw this? Like, yeah, we're gonna play the block game. Like, what?
What do you mean? Oh, you're talking about Jenga. Okay.
Got you.
Right. Y'all didn't think to like read the instructions before the filming crew got in there?
Right.
Before you started cutting up those apples, you probably could have read those instructions then, but okay. Hey, watch the YouTube video.
Each his own, I guess.
I guess. I would have pulled out trouble and been done with it.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry.
I mean, any of the classics. Play life. Play the game of life. Teach them something.
Right. You know, that's a 6-player game.
Right.
There you go.
They could have did anything. Twister. They probably Cody might have got it super competitive though.
Cody got super competitive playing Jenga, and he was the one who knocked the tower down.
Right.
Like, how is it everybody else's fault? You pulled it out. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was because even with that, I think that the truly thing, or I'm sorry, I think that even with the Jenga thing, that was very revealing as far as where he was with how he always put somebody else in front of him to blame. So when he lost the game, he didn't say, "Oh damn, I lost." He said, "Oh wow, we lost.
We lost. We're terrible at this game. We we speaking French. Ain't no we here.
We didn't lose.
You lost the game.
You're the loser." Yeah.
My brother in Christ, it was you who knocked this over. Thank you.
Right. So
that's just how he plays with all of his family. Like, he's the one knocking stuff over, but it's somehow it's everybody else's fault. It's everybody else's fault. Maddie and Caleb moved across the country, but you neglect the fact that Maddie and Caleb moved into Janelle's house to be closer to them in the beginning. And then a few months later, y'all were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go to a whole nother state."
Right. Now that we moved you all down here, we're gonna run away from you guys.
Yes, and we're gonna sell our house. So hey, guess what? Now you got to find a house. The whole point of you coming here was so that way you didn't have to pay all these extra bills. Let's give you some bills to pay.
Right. Good luck with things.
Right. Best of luck to you. You know, but also, I want to see my grandkids.
Right. Well, actually, because once they got to Arizona, they were complaining because they were saying that they wanted all the kids to move to them in Arizona.
Yes.
But you can't, especially young people. One, where you were in Arizona, Flagstaff is very expensive. You can't expect young people to be able to pay those kind of bills with their income. Two, how will they ever have anything? I mean, technically, how do you guys ever have anything? But how will they ever have anything if every couple of years they're packing up and moving?
They have to pick up and move.
Yeah, they're never getting settled. So they're never able to save money. They're never able to make a down payment. They're never able to lay roots and purchase a home because they're always chasing after you because you guys get the itch to move and you move to a different state. So, that's not fair to the kids.
And they were paying off medical bills because Caleb had a heart issue and like had to have surgery and everything. So that's also the reason why for like Caleb's health, to help with bills and everything on top of whatever medical bills that they have. And now you move to one of the most expensive areas in a whole nother state. And then Cody talks a lot about how they need to be the nucleus of the family, but that doesn't make sense because it's not like Cody stayed on his ranch with his dad.
Right.
Like you're expecting things of other people that you yourself did not do.
Right.
And that to me is just, it's so Cody.
Right.
It's just so Cody expected other people to do what he's not willing to do, and then blaming them for them having boundaries and saying, no, I'm not going to do that anymore.
Right. I'm not moving with you guys. What?
What
do you mean you're gonna be a whole adult, look after the kids that you have and not chase me around?
We're gonna move to a whole different state. What do you mean you adults with lives are not gonna stop everything that you're doing to help us move? Because that was his other complaint, was that when he moved, he was just like, we have half the people to help us move that we did when we moved to Vegas. Yeah, dummy, because your kids are grown now.
Right.
What do you mean? He's such an unserious person. To be so, his face is serious, but he's unserious. I'm just like, you can't. Yes, you have other callers. I will let you get to them.
All right, Brittany.
I can side eye this man all night.
Right. But thank you for calling in. I appreciate it. Once again, appreciate you calling in. Thanks so much. You have a great night. All right.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, Brittany, not Brittany. Alex Smith in the house. What's going on, Alex? How you doing?
Hey, James. How you doing?
Doing great. Doing great. How's everything?
Good, good. Oh, my word, this man. And I use that term loosely.
You're very liberal with it, right?
Right. I cannot believe he sat up here and said on national TV, well, I'm not going to reach out to my child because they have contempt every time they pick up the phone. Of course they do. Are you that stupid?
Right.
You just sat here on national TV in front of everybody and had the sacrifices that I made to love you. And I never
wasted.
Yeah, wasted. You're gonna think that they're not gonna have contempt when they've seen you act like that on national television and say out of your own lips on national TV that you never loved their mother.
Right.
You said it, and there's video evidence that you said it.
Right. Multiple times. Like, it seems like every time, because even in this conversation he had tonight, he said at least like 7 or 8 times that I never loved their mothers. And that's why they're mad at me. Why are you saying that? And even if that is like, okay, fine, it's true. Like, I'm gonna give you, if I'll say, Cody, you absolutely right. You never loved their mothers. But if they're mad about that, why are you standing there pretending like you don't have anything to do with it? It's you. You know what I mean? It's you.
Right. And I mean, and then last week, the whole Ari on his leg thing. I'm like, okay, first off, that what? Are the inmates running the asylum? Since when does a 5, 6, or 7-year-old have control of the house?
Right.
But then again, I got to thinking and going flashback in episodes, right, of where he didn't want to have another baby with Robin because he said Ari wasn't going to sleep at night, keeping the whole household up. So what should we expect from the parent who has a child that's 5 or 6 years old pulling out a pacifier to talk? And the child doesn't have any bedtime, no schedule, no nothing. It almost makes me go back to the whole Christine thing of what did the nanny do?
Right.
Apparently not a damn thing.
Right.
You know, another wasted expense.
Exactly. Well, because I guess for him, the nanny was important because he was able to experience the honeymoon, pretending like he doesn't have any kids because he would just put the kids with the nanny. So he could enjoy Robin when he went over to the house, you know. And it's crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, it's because part of being a family is being a family,
Right. And you expect your older children not to be upset when they're seeing Robin reap benefits that their mothers never got from you. Mm-hmm. You're giving all this attention to Robin's children that you never gave to them, and you're expecting them to not be upset about it. They are human beings, Cody. They have feelings and emotions.
Right. Well, because I think that in tandem with what you're saying, I think that it also, if you could ask Cody, like just the real talk about it, you say that you never loved their mother. Do you think, Cody, that when you didn't love their mother, but you were forced to stay over at their house and spend time with them because this was part of your duty and you were putting up the act, do you think that these kids didn't recognize that it was something you really didn't want to do? Because you're not going to approach something that you're excited. If I'm in love with a woman and I'm excited to be around her and I'm excited to spend time with her, you could tell the difference between when you love somebody and you want to spend time with them versus when you have to spend time. Like you go to work, going home, spending time with somebody you love and you want to be with, versus how you are when you go to a job you hate. Like you're both places and you're fulfilling your duty. But one instance, you're excited about it. Your approach to it is different versus when you show up and you begrudgingly are there. And I think that the kids will recognize that because these kids aren't idiots. And that's where I think Cody's biggest struggle is. He doesn't have dumbass kids. You know?
Right. And some of his boys are more men than he is.
Right.
Just being straight up honest about it. Logan is more of a man than Cody will ever be when it comes down to it. And I mean, I'm sorry, but like this, and like I said, I use the term man loosely, but he makes me want to slam my head up a brick wall because it's like you can't even see it. And then this whole like fake disagreement with Robin on the episode tonight, and it's like I don't even want to go there because that just gonna make me mad. Like I just literally am like, but you're sitting here blaming your children when you're saying, oh, it's unsafe for me to be around these people, but your kids are saying, you know what, you and Robin are unsafe to me, and you want to have an attitude about it.
Right. And then how do you like, I love being around Robin and her kids, which means by default, if you're saying that to your kids, I love being around her and her kids because they're awesome. Doesn't that mean I'm kind of not awesome? Like if you're the other kids.
Right, and they're loyal to me. Right. They're loyal to me. What am I, chopped liver?
Right. And what is loyalty? But you spend time with them, you show them care and compassion, and you're around them all the time. You're meeting their needs. So yeah, they'll be loyal to you because you're meeting their needs. Part of the complication you're having with your other kids is that you're not meeting their needs. So what are they loyal to?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
exactly. And I'm going to touch on one more thing before I let you go, James. Last week's episode, him talking about, Ari saying she doesn't like Christine. Oh, you don't know her well enough to know, but my baby's loyal to me. No, that's not loyalty. That's emotionally manipulating a small child to do your bidding is what that is.
Right. And it's actually kind of disturbing. Like for you to put loyalty on a 5 or 6 year, I think she might have been 7 or 8 at that time. To say that a 7-year-old or 8-year-old is loyalty, hell, anybody under 16, really. Like, and even then that's kind of suspect. Because they're still kind of operating on a different level. But that's not
it's
loyalty.
A little creepy.
Right. And you're demanding, and the fact that you're saying that she's loyal to you and you're congratulating her on that also indicates to me that you expect loyalty. There's an expectation of loyalty from a 7 or 8-year-old, which is crazy. It's crazy.
And as soon as one of those kids don't give it to him, they'll be out on the street.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they weren't loyal to him, but he doesn't even really know the meaning of the word. The man needs a dictionary.
Yeah, but thank you so much for calling in. That was awesome.
Thanks, James.
I appreciate you. Thanks for calling in. You have a great night, all right? And up next, we have Michelle in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Michelle. Hey, Michelle, what's happening?
Hi, everybody. How's it going?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. I bit my lip this morning.
Oh, no.
And I've just seen it on camera, and I'm like, oh, God. Yuck. Yeah, a few things.
That's what happens when you're a sweet person. You can't help but taste yourself. Go ahead. You got it.
Either that or I run my mouth too much. You know, either way. Yeah, my husband's got this saying, and he's got two. The first one is the only families that never argue are the ones that never speak to each other to start with. And the other one is whenever he hears Cody talk, he says, oh, no, don't confuse me with the facts. My mind's made up, you know. The only person I was loyal to at 8 years old was Big Bird, just to put it in context, or somebody that had a lollipop. You know, he's taught his kids that affection and love is currency. You know, and the way that he behaves, he is setting those young'uns a real bad example on how to go forward in life. And I don't buy it. I do not buy for one moment that he has ever done anything outside of his own interests. And he doesn't see his other children as human beings. He can't do and still sleep at night. You know, it's like they're little pod people or they're plasticine. They're there to be manipulated and formed into what he needs in that moment. Mm-hmm. But he is the Peter Pan of family politics. He's never going to grow up unless he has, you know, a huge epiphany and he gets over himself. And I think the way that he was going on with Robin, he was even manipulating her in that scene, where if it was true, and saying, yeah, well, my feelings are a bit raw, and, you know, and it's like, oh, please. You know, really, I mean, the air in my home went blue. I was that angry. Just sitting there thinking, you've made everything centered around your fragile ego, everything. And you've blown your own family apart. You're telling them to go forth and multiply. And when they do, you don't like it. You just don't like it.
Right.
He sowed the seeds of it all, you know.
Right. And that's one of the hard things with watching that, because even though, like I said, Robin was making good points tonight with a lot of her observations, a lot of things I agree with. But the problem that I have with both her approach and Cody's approach is that it's so centered on themselves. And it takes almost zero consideration for the kids involved. Like even when Robin is talking about the kids, and maybe this is what bothered me about it, is that when she was even talking about the kids trying to take the kids' position, she was only seeing it from her perspective and what she went through. And I get it, like your experience can kind of color how you see the world, etc. I get that. And I think that there's a point to that. But at the same time, it's seeing the other person, like actually seeing them and what they're going through, not seeing them for what you went through and how it's similar to what you went through and how you dealt with your problems when you were going through it, but seeing them going through their own thing, because this is happening to them. It's not happening to you 10 years or 30 years ago when you were with your dad. It's happening to them today. And this is the first time this has happened to them. And so it's new to them. So you have to walk them through it. You have to usher them through it, as opposed to, well, this is how I got over it when it happened to me, 20 years ago.
I mean, I've got a 29-year-old daughter and I've got grandchildren. And there's been times that, you know, me and my daughter have had, you know, quite tempestuous fallouts. And some of it was her fault. But when it was mine, I'm sorry, but you've got to suck it up and you've got to say it. Because you've got to be able to be human with people. Mm-hmm. And how is she ever going to feel that she can relate to me as a human being if I'm never saying sorry when I've done wrong? You know, your kids... Right. My mum, I was a horrible teenager. I was an absolute ratbag. I mean, I don't even know how I'm not 6 foot under now with some of the stunts that I pulled. I was nasty, mean, vindictive, and the mouth on me, as you can tell, not exactly improved. But she took it in her stride and she never shut the door on me. Right. There was a few times that she said, "Come on now, you're coming it a bit." And I had to get over myself. But there were times that, you know, if she'd said something wrong, she would ring me and tell me that she was sorry. We're human beings. We're not Play-Doh. We're not plasticine. We shouldn't be being manipulated like that. Right. And he's done this to himself. But it's not him that it's affecting the most. And he still can't see that. It's so sad. Right. You know.
Right. And the sad part is that even with a lot of the things that are going on, especially when we talk about like the whole occurrence of what happens with Big G's, like Garrison later on, like we see the effects of absence and the ripple effect that it has on the kids. And it doesn't have to be. The thing that I think really has to be pressed is it doesn't have to be as dramatic as what happened with Big G. There are things you can change the trajectory of people's lives by showing intolerance and unacceptance of who they are and the unwillingness to be a part of their lives. You know what I mean? Like, like even though Madison is putting up a strong front by saying she doesn't want to have Cody in her life, you can't convince me that there's no part of Madison that doesn't want to have her father in her life and her father in her kid's life, but she can't do it because he's so unstable. So she has to prevent her, like, and that I'm sure, like in the cackles of my heart, I'm sure, I'm positive that hurts her. That she has to make that decision, because no child should ever be in a situation where they have to make that decision about their parent. That I have to keep my kids away from this person who I want to have in my life, but I have to keep my kids away from them because they're just not safe. You know what I mean? And that
must be devastating.
Yeah, that's a hurt thing.
Just
but I will say, just real quick, I will say that I agree with something else that you said about recognizing and taking ownership of when you may have made an error. Like, so because as parents, we're not perfect. Far from it. And so I will make mistakes. I'm gonna get angry. I'm gonna lose my patience. I'm gonna say things and do things that I'll regret later on. And I need that the kindness of forgiveness too. Like I need, my kids to forgive me when I do the wrong thing, just like I forgive them, because it's a relationship. We forgive each other. And it's part of that forgiveness is, even as a parent, we have to recognize that we aren't infallible and we can make mistakes. And because I have the propensity to make mistakes, if I make a mistake, I have to recognize the mistake. I have to own the mistake, and I have to do what I have to do to fix what I did wrong.
Exactly.
And that's where I think me and Cody kind of like hit loggerheads as far as our approaches to how we deal with our kids. If I make a mistake, I'm willing to say, I tell my kids all the time, if you guys want to come and talk to me about something I set a rule or guideline, or I discipline you in some kind of way, you disagree, my door is always open. We can have the conversation. I'm going to be honest, but we can have the conversation, and then we'll meet it out.
Can I just tell you one thing very, very quickly? A prime example, my daughter turned 21 and she said, Mum, come out and have an alcoholic drink with me. I said, you really don't want that, love? You don't want that? Yeah, come on, it'll be fun. I had the first 2 drinks and I'm a bit of a, nothing ever stops at 2. Everything's got to be like tenfold. I woke up the next morning. I don't remember much about the night before, which is not the best sign, really. My daughter comes into my bedroom and she just sits on the bed and she's looking at me like this. I said, what's that look all about? What's all this about? She just looked at me and she said 2 words and I knew I'd done screwed up. She said, you danced.
Like, was it on the bar or?
To this day, James, she will not recount it because it's too tragic. But I knew from that point, I was like, okay, so maybe I'll stay home and have coffee and wait for you to come in and put the bowl out. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But that's just it. She was just like, you danced. Oh God. But we're all human.
Well, you know what though, in fairness, I will keep it all the way a stack. Sometimes these kids don't realize that we wasn't always parents.
No.
We weren't always who we are today. Like your whole life, I've been a parent because I'm your parent. But I was me before I was who you think I am. And there was a lot of growth and development.
Yeah, they say to be old and wise, first you've got to be young and completely stupid.
Right.
And I agree. Yeah.
And sometimes you got to run that track twice.
Oh, God, yeah. Some of us have to go around like in the centenary, till you learn.
Exactly.
But thanks for having me on the show and you have a wonderful rest of your day. And thanks to everybody for your well wishes. Take care, guys.
Thanks, Michelle. You have a good one, all right?
Yeah, no worries. Take care. Bye.
Right. Have a good night. Michelle in the house. Her husband's a wise man, I tell you. I like those statements. I should have wrote them down because I'm probably going to use them at some point. Michelle, just to let you know. Michelle be dropping the wisdom, I'll tell you. You danced. Michelle was cutting a rug, Jack. That's what happened. She was like, Mom, I don't know if we should go out there and hold my beer. I'm going to show you how we used to get it in on my time. You know what I mean? Back in my day, show you young folks who looking shy. What you scared for? Go ahead, Michelle. Oh, man. Yeah, I tell you guys what, but I'm glad you guys all were able to join me. We had some awesome guests tonight. Yeah, right. Yeah, there was a somebody just called it up. Alaska, Van Oz. These people talk about his kids, call them these people. That's a bad time when a parent refer to their children as these people. That nothing good comes of that. It's never a good time, And especially when that's one of the things that at some point I might have to make a video about it. But that's one of the problems that I have with Cody's approach is that he's so quick to try to, because he spent most of his life putting everybody diametrically opposed to each other, arguing with each other, disagreeing with each other when he has disagreements with them. Oh, it's not that I got along with everybody. My relationship with everybody was perfect. It's just that I couldn't get them to get along with each other. This is something that he said during the course of the show. When you do that, you'll never find peace. You can't create discord or disharmony in your family and then hope to find peace. And when you use terms like these people, those people, them, when you do that, you automatically insert adversarial. That was cool, balloons. that inserts an adversarial relationship between you and whomever you're talking about. And once you do that, then anything is possible. For you can treat them any way you want because it's them. It's those people. Especially when you're talking about your kid, you shouldn't refer to your kids as those those people. Those dang old people getting on my nerves. But it's a sad situation. Sad situation. Well, guys. Oh wow. Wow, that's deep. Kate Thomas said Robin realized she married her father. Her father left his old family too, and she's still mad about it. I'll believe her when she's upset. It took her a minute, but she's here now. Oh, she said, "Welcome to the club." Ooh, yeah, that's tough. You marry your daddy, like she married her dad, thought she was marrying her stepfather. Because I guess that's a weird thing too. Because in one respect, she thought she was marrying her stepfather because she was so diligent about pushing her kids on to Cody, and he accepted her kids, he adopted her kids. So she's thinking she married her stepfather, when in actuality, according to Robin, because I'm not sure what that relationship was actually like, or if there were boundaries or obstacles put up by her mom to keep the dad from and being involved. I'm not sure. I don't know. But if everything she said is true, and her father completely neglected her and ignored her because he was no longer with her mom, then technically Kay is right. She did marry her stepfather. She married her father. Something to think about. I mean, that's tough. That's tough. It'll drive you crazy. Brittany Not Brittany with 499 Super Chat. Cody talks about contempt from his kids, like they can't tell that he has contempt for them. Right. Oh yeah, they treat me like hell because they sit here mad at me, but I'm only mad at them because they mad at me. Chicken and egg, my friend. Who is mad at whom first? See, I did that. Whom? Who is mad at whom first? So you are having contempt for them because they belong to the women that you weren't getting along with. But then when they get mad at you because of the way that you treat them, the kids, they get mad at you because of how you treat them. Now all of a sudden you're mad at them for being mad that you were treating them bad. Make it make damn sense, bro. And that's kind of where I'm at. Make it make sense. So if you can't be honest with yourself, this is why I was always my big thing has always been to be honest, with yourself and everything that you're doing. If you can't be honest with yourself and where you're coming up short, where you're making mistakes and the things that you're doing or not doing, the fact that you are treating their mother bad, you can't understand why they might be mad that you treating their mom bad. Be honest with yourself. And if you're honest with yourself and you do something, you're being honest with yourself, you realize you're about to do this thing that's going to piss these kids off. If you're honest with yourself, then you say, you know what? I know it's going to piss these kids off, but I'm going to do it anyway. Then you're willing to deal with the consequences. Well, Cody, it just sounds like to me, Cody's not willing to deal with the consequences of the things he's doing. But I'm going to give a little shout out, a little super thanks to Brittany Not Brittany. Awesome visit tonight. Awesome call. So give a little. All right. And then next week, guys, I'm going to have all new super thanks. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. If I can get it up tomorrow, I might have them tomorrow night for the show with Sarah. We're doing Sister Live, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to talk some more about Sister Wives, get Sarah's input. Then all week, releasing new videos, guys. Make sure you check those videos out. I do have to get up some of the because I do want to make sure my family law channel is started off solid. So I have to make a concerted effort to try to get those videos up because I've been promising that forever and I gotta get that up. So I gotta do it. So I'm gonna try to release as many sister wife videos as I can, but I have to try to balance them out with my other channel. I will be posting links for when I post to the other channel. It'll be a lot of fun. You guys can check out some law stuff. I'm gonna be commenting on Love After Lockup. because I watched that episode. They just dropped a new season on that, and I want to get my perspective on some of that, and I'll be doing that on my other channel. So I will be dropping those links in this channel. So if you guys want to see it, make sure you join my Facebook group. I'll be posting both channels on that Facebook group. So yeah, should be a good time. Subscribe to both channels. It'll be awesome. Be great. But thank you guys so much. I want to give a big shout out to, before we go out, I want to give make sure to recognize the folks who dropped in the super chats. Brittany, not Brittany, Deborah Fisher, Hollywood Deli Podcast, Mary Highfield, Betty, I'm going to butcher her name again. Hopefully you do well on your test, or hopefully you do well on your paper. Betty Pospisil, Betty Pospisil, hopefully that's right. Popsy Mommy. Neglet 3, great job tonight, Neglet 3, very insightful. Bug Lover, Christy Ford, and Brittany, not Brittany, because Brittany was in the house. So we're gonna give you guys a little something, and I want to give something to everybody who participated in chat. Thanks for keeping it super cool. I know we had a troll that we bounced, but thank you guys for keeping it super cool. Thanks for calling my attention to it so that we could get that rectified. But thanks, everybody was awesome. And I appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, hit the likes on the videos so that way the algorithm knows to put the videos in. Because sometimes if you hit the subscribe button, even if you ring the bell for notification, if you watch the videos but you don't like the videos, YouTube might stop giving you access to the new videos. So that's something that I learned the hard way. And if you're not seeing the videos getting dropped, it might be because YouTube unsubscribed you. Apparently they do that too. So just check your subscriptions. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for keeping up. Make sure you check me out tomorrow. I'll be with Sarah from Reality Squad at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have a whole lot of fun. I'm sure it's going to be some foolishness. We're going to be talking about some craziness. And check out my videos this coming week. Be cool. This has been My Take. I'm James. This has been My Take on Reality. And I'm out. Oh, before I go, I want to give a big shout out to Lizzie B. Thank you for holding me down. Thanks for helping to moderate. Appreciate you. You guys have a great night. And once again, I am out. I'm going to go ahead and do the outro song again. Thanks, Lizzie B. Appreciate you.